And welcome to the ECS show. This is the last qualifying match that we have, Dan.
The last one. And we have Dignitas and Tricked. Godson actually made it through. After all, they actually managed to make it through in the top spot. They were tying for points, but on round difference, they were superior to Tricked, landing Tricked in this very difficult situation up against Dignitas, a very top-level team, and it's going to be certainly a very tough one, but they have a potential 5 maps to try and make it happen.
Are Dignitas the best team in Denmark?
Very possibly. Astralis' form is, well, according to Thorin, I think he would say yes. If you look at his last rankings, I think there is an argument to make. Astralis have been suffering for quite a while. They're still trying to right the ship. So Dignitas do appear to be having better results lately.
So maybe Astralis run the slump that Virtus Pro were in, which they have now escaped for the time being.
It remains to be seen, I suppose. With Virtus Pro, I don't want to call it. I'm not comfortable calling it just yet. But yes, they are doing quite well. Very impressive performances recently, which I always thought was going to happen at some point, and I'm glad it's finally is delivering because they are such a fun team and of storied individuals. But we're going to start off here on Nuke. This is the choice of Dignitas moving into this best of 5. So this could be absolutely perfect for them if they're able to get off to the start on their home map as they would like to have, and it is on the CT side in which they will begin things here against Tricked.
Indeed. Now this is a map where some some players are coming out of the woodwork and saying that they like Nuke. After all the initial complaints, people are liking Nuke at the moment. Might be difficult to understand from a viewer's perspective though, and also from an observer perspective. So good luck to our observer today. T's charging into the A site, trades onto both sides, bombs on the floor though, and there's a man advantage for the CTs, although just about cajunb on 4 HP. There's a player moving through Radio Room, that's Magic's boy, and HUNDEN, last man standing, going to get taken down. No bomb plant for Tricked. So perhaps we're going to see a force buy in this round. Do they have a force buy plan in mind? That is the question. Money between $1,400 to $1,800. Nothing being bought yet from Tricked, actually. Apart from, there we go, some late buys. They're not committing fully. Some deagles being picked up, looking for the long shots. See what they can achieve.
It's always fun. Sometimes you can just lose rounds and it's no one's fault. Sometimes those shots just connect with the deagles, those one shots. Ooh, that could have been one of them. HUNDEN not able to connect that one, but his teammates are actually making their way along the catwalk there. Outside, the newly added catwalk there for the T's to have better access outside, but they are being shut down so far. So looks pretty good here for Dignitas overall. They've not lost anyone just yet, and it still seems to be very good. Very nicely done by all of Dignitas, just holding outside, and just maeVe now with the PT50 to try to get some damage done, but this force buy otherwise has really fallen on its face. One frag. Okay, that's some damage. Needs to get a bit more damage though. One more kill would be something, but can't pull it off. Dignitas well within acceptable losses in this round. They'll be quite happy.
So far, so good. Do you have a favourite between these two sides?
Absolutely Dignitas. Especially as it's a best of 5. Whenever you have a team that, even if they are slightly favoured, you do expect to see that in a prolonged series. So best of 5 is really comfortable for the better team.
I think it's fair to say that Dignitas are a team who often underachieve. So in this best of 5 format, we'll see if they can make it over the line here, or if Tricked will continue to surprise people with exceptional performances. Config getting peppered outside from a Tech 9, but again, this is there's no armor on these Tricked players, so we can't expect much to be done. JUGi's getting a second frag, but that's going to be that for this round. So we'll see if the MP9 and UMP continue.
So how are you liking those new sounds?
I quite like the new sounds. I think one issue is that perhaps the sounds are too alike, so it might be harder to identify what people are actually firing.
Yeah.
But it's I'm not going to declare a verdict on that just yet because it's still early days, man. It takes time to adjust and get used to things. But I mean, the AK sounds more like an AK now. The M4 sounds amazing as well. The one I really don't like is the AWP.
Yeah, I felt like with the AK before it had a very, very distinctive sound because of the pitch, but either way, we're going to be hearing a lot of those sounds at the moment as the attempt to take outside is somewhat failing. A couple players taken down on the cross, and not just that, niko and maeVe very weak as well. So Tricked unable to do much here. They get a single frag out of JUGi, but other than that, they haven't really accomplished all that much. And the thing is, once you get downstairs, you really want to have the numbers alive. You can lose maybe one player, but you still need to have pretty much everybody down there if you want to actually take over that area. Of course, there is some pressure in that area, but pressure on the map is not as important on this map for the Ts, because Dignitas or any CT side will have good rotation times. So it's not as difficult to deal with for the CT side. So you really want to be taking those areas outright. And that is not something that Tricked have managed to do in this round. So Dignitas performing very well on their defense.
With the few players Tricked have at the moment, straight duels are required. But even niko's down to 11 HP, so maeVe also heavily tagged. So there are a multitude of problems for Tricked, and now the high health player JUGi is going to get taken down as well. So this should be at the end of the round, although that could be an opening to get the bomb down. Again, the fast rotation will come into play. niko will try and help his teammate, getting a Molotov down there. But you can see maeVe on the site, surrounded with no support from his teammate. Bomb won't go down, and that will be the end of the round. 10 seconds for niko to try and get some damage in. There's one. Magic's boy will sort of stop the damage there. It was an expensive round for Dignitas, but again, it's a 4-0. All good in the hood. Mighty difficult for Tricked as well. So Tricked's not really in a position to capitalize on the damage that they did to Dignitas' economy in that round.
It's a pretty awesome position for Dignitas too, because everything's going according to plan at the moment. They've not really had any problems just playing a basic setup on the CT side. There's no real need for them to think, okay, we've got to take this risk here. We've got to go and try to take lobby away early, like figure out the pace of the enemy team here. Yeah, we did just see, I have to interrupt myself, we just see config there just sitting on CT spawn, so I'm not sure what's going on there, as the players don't seem to be complaining just yet. I'll see if he's going to be moving in any time soon.
I'm surprised they haven't said not live, although there is typing going on. So one would assume because no one's been shot in this round, that's going to be a not live. And yes, cajunb running out of his knife will indicate that this is not live. There's an issue over in CT spawn. Anyway, so far so good for Dignitas. Apart from config and lagging out somewhat.
We expect this round to be reset. So yeah, the thing is that's amazing for Dignitas is that, well, I mean, Tricked are not in a spot where they've tried all too much at the moment. They haven't really tested, you know, fast, like super fast rounds, super slow rounds. They haven't tested going for that upper push if they have a set piece to throw at it. It's a possibility that they don't necessarily have a very routine and drilled series of plays on this map. It's a great possibility. It was Dignitas' pick after all, and in a best of 5 format you only get certain drops to make, and Trick decided to drop Dust 2 against Dignitas, which is quite interesting that they would drop Dust 2 over Nuke. So you would like to think, based on the Dust 2 drop, that they are somewhat, you know, they feel comfortable on Nuke, because otherwise it's very strange not to remove Nuke, especially against a Danish team like Dignitas.
Yeah, some teams have been surprising their opponents with Nuke at the moment. Versus Pro, for an example. Versus Pro, though, have always been a good team when it comes to taking on and adapting to new maps. Train as an example, Overpass another one, Cobblestone as well. So they always seem to do well with the new maps. And you can see they took it to them in the previous round. So still 4 players on the CT side at the moment. While we have this pause, anything else interesting going on?
I guess the other thing to add as well is that you have basically a domestic matchup here between 2 Danish teams. So this is something that will also mean that there's a lot of stuff that we might not know about that happens in all the practice matches that they've played together, or the tendencies that they understand between, you know, player between player. So that is another reason why we could see the ban of Dust 2 from Trick, that they have played against Dignitas in the past, and that may be something that at the moment they feel is somewhat unsolvable, or that they just have a bit of, let's say, you know, just discomfort against specifically Dignitas. So they wanted to allow Nuke to go in there as something maybe a bit fresher, other than the Dust 2 choice. That could be an explanation as to why they did remove Dust 2. But one thing we have to remember is that Dust 2 is classically one of the upset maps where, you know, everybody can play Dust 2. Everybody can have that good start and really roll with it and put the other team that might be better than you in a really awful spot. So again, there has to be, you know, a pretty strong reason why they didn't go for that one. So based on that, I definitely don't have too much concern just yet for Tricked. There's a lot of stuff that they can still go for, that they can still try, despite the strength we've seen from Dignitas in their basic holds thus far.
Back into the map, back into the match. Yes, scroll with your mouse. All the scrolling, let it be done. Right, so we see Deagles on the T side, but not much else. JUGi's got armor. So again, a round where we can't expect much to happen from Tricks. Again, just a reminder that we still have coaches on the server. There's been no knee-jerk reaction in that regard. It's interesting on the weekend as well. A lot of people think that the new pauses are a bit too disruptive. cajunb's only got USP for some reason. No idea why. Config and cajunb now, vulnerable damage-wise, but again, there's not much we can expect here. niko alone now with the bomb, maybe waiting for somebody to overextend. Yeah, it seems the new pause style and use of the coaches is quite disruptive to the flow of the game.
I can really see that actually from a player's perspective, especially in Counter-Strike, because Counter-Strike you're always trying to maintain this level of focus, and that's very tiring. And having to keep resetting between like this subconscious focus versus like this sitting back and just changing those mind states, that is really annoying as a player. I can definitely assure you.
Right then, let's see what's going on in this round. Finally, Trick's back on the buy. Big, strong lead for Dignitas so far. JUGi looking, but off angles, passive angles, being held by Dignitas at the moment on the outside. cajunb's in position outside of the warehouse. I think we saw Cold playing from here yesterday, over in New York. Player in secret for the CTs as well. More smokes being deployed. Could that be a wall? I'm not sure. Indeed, it might be. Config's going to get taken down towards secret, so now the T's will move undetected.
Finally able to actually get down to secret without losing a player, instead actually taking down a Dignitas man instead. So this is a great start, and this is something we haven't seen just yet from Trick. So how does the next phase of the attack work out for them? We're about to find out now as they start to make their way into that control room. And Dignitas have to feel this presence. They have to start having better positions to deal with this. You can see there's one guy in the room on the bomb site, and that is Magisk right there. This is a great position. Can often be a one and done, but he's able to pick up one frag, gets re-engagements. A lot of focus on him. He's not able to survive though. cajunb missing his shot, needed to hit that one. It's going to get much more difficult from this point forwards. Another miss, another opportunity gone for cajunb, but he's going to keep getting opportunities. MSL is providing good distraction, and cajunb will keep himself alive. Just JUGi left now. Where does he look? This is going to be very difficult for him to pull this one out of the bag. That is very gutting for Tricked. Looked like everything was going their way.
6-0 for Dignitas. So far, so good for one of the two Danish sides. Starting to build some serious cash as well. Some bank, some coins, some dollar, some dollar. Some moolah, some green. Tricked opting for the force buy. JUGi down to the UMP. Reasonable amount of grenades as well. They are at maximum loss bonus now. So that will help them get more buys, even if they continue to lose. Fast play towards the outside. That nade's not going to achieve much, unfortunately, for Config. And again, he's going to have to try to move to a passive position. No eyes over towards Garage, or Garage. Garage. You're a Garage man, Dan?
I think I say Garage. I think, yeah.
Well, Dignitas are flying in with tons of kills, and JUGi is not having much trouble, not having much success, rather. maeVe planting for main. But is that all they can get done here, Tricks? Now it's JUGi alone with 6 HP. And he's going to get taken down immediately.
Yeah, another... I mean, okay. It's a slow improvements. They got the bomb down this time, which is definitely an improvement. But they already have that max loss bonus. The bomb is very nice. It's going to give them that $4,200 instead of just the $3,400, which was just the maximum loss bonus. So that $4,200, it makes all the difference. It means you can actually have nades with your purchase of the AKs, which is brilliant. So... back to the drawing board, really, here for Tricked, as they try to work out what to do. I like that JUGi's gone for a Krieg there. Now, it was quite promising that they were able to get that initial advantageous situation on the outside. And that's something that's going to have to... they're going to have to try to rinse and repeat a little bit. So far, that's been their most successful opener to a round. And it is a very common one, of course, on the DT side of Nuke. And it does appear that they are going to start throwing those smokes, a wall of smokes, and that is the opener that we saw lead into that one frag advantage early in the round, a couple rounds ago. So we've got Config, they're looking for the angle through the smoke. Of course, not going to be able to see too much. Can Tricked play around these smokes perfectly to get the frags? This is a great play. Pop flash straight through. That's a very dead Config. Why on earth was he that close to the smoke? Very risky business. I love that Tricked were brave enough to move forwards through it. And now, once again, they got the 5 versus 4, but not for long.
Moving down towards Secret with the bomb. A minute on the clock. RUBINO is outnumbered, to say the least. 3 versus 1 situation heading his way. How many frags is this position good for? The heads might clear at the same time. Ding dong, both people are going to get headshot. 3 versus 3 now. Players moving down towards B. Magic's boys on the site. But be careful though, he will be exposed to the control room window. And he's going to have a look. Spray is not going to work out. 2 versus 2. Man keeps falling for each person at the same time. Half of ramp's been smoked off now, but it's still the gauntlet run for Tricked, and that splash is not going to hit cajunb. Doors open. And he can tell his teammate no one's in the site just yet. Just continue to hold his angle. And perhaps MSL can have his back. But he'll have to watch his 6 as well. cajunb misses, well, maybe hits, but doesn't get a fatal connection. JUGi pushing through the smoke. Untimely fashion. MSL should finish things off. Indeed he will. Another round on the board for Dignitas. So halfway there in the first half with not a round dropped so far.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, isn't it, for Tricked? They've gotten so close so many times. So many, I mean, the opening play was really great to punish Config, because Config had a lot of confidence thinking, okay, those smokes are down outside. It's really unlikely that they will push through the smokes, and that's one of those mix-ups you can go for as the tease. And it was perfect, it punished Config. Okay, there was a trade, still good for the tease though, but either way, when it's all is said and done, they won't be able to clutch the round now, and it's back to the pistols for one, as they did not get the bomb planted. So Dignitas should be very, very well geared up for that 9-0. Able to lock things down above the huts. And this seems like a formality this round. Yep.
It's another free round for Dignitas. They are really racking up a strong score here. So even if Trick has something ready for us on a CT side, they may get little opportunity to display it if this half continues the way it's been going for the last 9 rounds. Again, back on the bye. Again, they're at maximum loss bonus. But it's to no avail at the moment. Still a big fat 0 on the board. HUNDEN with only 1 frag so far. Although a lot of his teammates aren't doing much better, so people are going to have to come in and represent. Dignitas going for double AWPs in this round. Maybe expecting something different from Tricked. We'll see what they can do. That smoke will help JUGi go for a fast play towards T-Red should he want to. And he's looking over the smoke. Does he see the barrel from Config? Ooh. He doesn't. I wonder if that would display a question mark on the radar. There's Config blind, but he survives. That's a lucky situation for him. Bomb left in a passive position so far. Dignitas just waiting for Trick to come to them at the moment. It's really weird. Outside is kind of in control of both teams at the moment. There must be a line in the sand somewhere. See which team crosses. Stereo AWPs coming in.
Yeah, just as you said, it seems to be in control of both teams. cajunb is like, well, I've got a solution for that. Brings out the AWP for a couple kills. 3 in total for Dignitas. So that's Trick shut down outside. So Dignitas really running circles around them at the moment on their CT side. Pop flash in here, bounce off the door. The entry of niko, but he's not able to get anything done. maeVe with the trade, but at a 1 versus 4 still. So not really liking that one. 10-0. Dignitas kicking things off here with an explosive start to the best of 5, and I suppose it is Nuke. So
one would imagine this is a tactical pause. I think we saw a tactical pause in yesterday's one of semi-finals at like round 6 on one of the maps. I think the score was 3-2 or something.
James, this shouldn't be called a tactical pause. This should be called an emotional pause because it's 10-0, and I don't know.
Well, no one's killing anyone, and that seems to be one of the issues here.
I need an emotional pause.
I need an emotional pause. Right then, it's been unpaused. Let's see what Tricks have in the bag. Despite maximum loss bonus, they're still going to have some restrictions, continuously losing rounds. 4 AKs, the Galil, and a bunch of grenades. Let's see what they have to offer us with these. For all 5 people moving outside from Tricks, is this going to be a fast play? Config, is he expecting the wall of smoke here? Holding angle upper. He should hit him running around. This is a play I like to see. Maybe not with an AWP though. That's a bit tricky, a bit risky. That's a play that needs to happen though with those kind of wall of smokes, but ideally with an M4. If he has an M4, he maybe kills 3 people there.
It's quite sad, isn't it? The position he was in, not to get a single kill.
Oh, someone dropped the Dignitas ban. They had 4 players, but somebody disconnected. So Tricks have a great opportunity to win around here. Only ECS gone down, and again, Dignitas have lost a player.
Wasn't it config last time?
It was config last time, and now it is the other guy. I can't remember who the last is. Trick moving up stairs, and cajunb is ready waiting for them. He's not going to get traded. He could still win this for his team. niko's got 10 HP here, and RUBINO's position is unknown. The ladder is open, and he gets off it. Nice, 2-man spray down.
Oh my goodness.
He's got 7 HP. Next hit wins. HUNDEN is looking everywhere, but he knows cajunb was in heaven. Doesn't mean he is in heaven, however.
They've both got Molotovs as well.
cajunb falls off the ladder.
Up he goes. Oh no, HUNDEN's looking. The spray there from, who was it coming on that? Was it RUBINO?
Yeah.
It was awful. It's really off.
Yeah.
That should have been an easy 2K there for him. But yeah, just rushing, maybe just rushing his shots a little bit. Either way, it's a much needed in for Tricked. And we have the last back on the server here for Dignitas. They have, of course, enormous stores of cash. Their banks are more filled than an oligarch. Now, what do Tricks go to? I mean, had Dignitas not dropped a player, they very likely do not win that last round, so it's almost effectively the 11-0. maeVe there looking to go in there with the smokes down. Drop from RUBINO, reaction from Dignitas, who's starting to rotate. Config though, going for the push outside, locking down this by himself, pulls out the USP now. Where is his support? I think the smokes are down. In fact, his support's been shot in the face. Config, he's still alive somehow, still doing damage. Is he still getting frags? Has to pull out the grenade! Ridiculous!
Just couldn't get the fatal frag there. 3 versus 3. Bombs down. maeVe is lurking around, trying to find an opening for his team while they bide their time. They know that surely people are holding angles on them. MSL goes down. cajunb walking into the angle, and he will get the frag onto JUGi, who is now moving away, and he's the last man standing. No, it's HUNDEN, sorry, with the bomb. Misread. 1 versus 2. 2 versus none. Dignitas back to winning ways. Tricks' economy has been reset, and there's a very, very reasonable chance down for a 14-1 half.
Oh yeah. I love the aggression from Config there, just playing very proactively. It's kind of crazy, it worked out so well. Now, Tricks, man, it's a pretty rough spot to be in. They're probably already thinking, we just want to get this map kind of over with as soon as possible. Of course, they're going to try to win, but we might see them just being a little bit more aggressive here, just to speed up the pace. They're in a really terrible spot. Here comes the rush, though, with the Tech 9s. MSL able to finish it off with a helping hand of cajunb. And that's going to be the 12-1, but that still doesn't mean that they can buy. They just have to, I mean, I assume they're just going to keep force buying. Will they save one and have a chance for a 13-2? Or they try to get the 12-3 with a couple force buys? Looks like they're just going to go for the save. Actually, there is definitely an argument for force buying here from, you know, just the fact that you feel like you're never going to win the game from 14-1. So why not try to make it 12-3, even if your chances to win are very low. But they're getting kind of walked over here by Dignitas. Can really see that this is the home territory for Dignitas.
I like these angles that cajunb is holding. Have you played much Nuke yet?
No, not too much. I used to have FPS issues on it, although I have...
You've been purchasing hardware now.
I've upgraded a little bit, so it might be better now.
13-1. Last chance saloon for Tricked to double their score in the first half. Double ups once again onto the CT side. 5 AKs and a bunch of grenades. Just the 1 Molotov onto Easter tag. fast play from many of the people outside. Could this be an A split? They could be moving towards main, perhaps. Indeed, they're going against the grain of their grenades. And Config is going to get taken down in isolation. Where's maeVe going to go? We've got players rotating towards B, so it could be a bit of a feint there. JUGi goes for a peek into a predictable angle, and MSL will take him down. RUBINO putting in work as well. 4 versus 3 at the moment, and cajunb once again in heaven, just delivering. HUNDEN 1 versus 2. Trying to go for a flash. RUBINO faces. Where's Magic's boy? Coming in from the back. And that's going to be that 14-1. It could be a fast first map, but first we'll have to see how the pistol goes.
Yeah, one thing that's really scary here is that you would expect, again, because it's a domestic matchup, that one of the qualities of those is that, okay, sure, you can have a team that's a lot better, maybe individually, but just due to that very situational, very specific player knowledge that the players of both teams will have about one another, it kind of lessens the margins a little bit on skill, because you're familiar with the kind of plays this guy's going to make from this position, or the tendencies of the team overall a little bit better. You'll understand their patterns than maybe a lot of other teams. But we're just seeing it right now, Trick get completely crushed, and this does not bode well for the rest of the series, I have to say. But it is early days, so we'll have to see if there is recovery. But this could be over very quickly if Dignitas are able to have a successful pistol round here on the T side of Nuke. And as a reminder, Cobble is the next map, and it is Trick's pick. It is a map that typically Dignitas have been very good on too.
Right then, let's see what pistol strat Dignitas have in store. Oh, cajunb going for the 180 drop to split the A site. Going to get absolutely wrecked. niko's in trouble now. Needs his teammates to come in. That's a very nice headshot. Oh, look at that. niko, 3 HP and a 2K on the site. That is massive from him. Config last man standing versus 4. And it seems Tricked may not be out of this one just yet. niko with a nuclear performance on the A site, no pun intended.
Yeah, well, they're going to be giving themselves a bit of a shot here. It's always going to be possible on Nuke. That said, I still feel like we have not had nearly enough data on Nuke. I think there's still a lot to be explored. So it's not like the old days where we, in 1.6 where the 14-1 was like, well, that's kind of normal. Same with like the 1.6 train. That's where you feel like you're in the game still at that point. Anyway, we got the play outside here, just almost a full eco, just deagles really. Just one player buying Kevlar in Magic's boy. So just looking for a little bit of pressure and damage. There's a little bit of damage. cajunb is going to train his Terminator aim on to HUNDEN's face. And RUBINO might get a double peek here with cajunb. With his elevated position, in fact, he's been discovered at this point. And Dignitas are slowly trying to work their way onto at least one more kill, which would definitely be a good outcome for them in this round, which would make them very happy indeed.
Ooh, niko's not watching.
They must know he's there. They saw him on the catwalk. They've got to know that he's there. Oh. Oh! No way! RUBINO just made this very interesting.
He has a minute on the clock, and he's picked up a weapon. Although he may prefer to deagle for his pre-fire angles. And now there are so many places. Oh, niko, he's behind the box. RUBINO, is he going to go around? Oh, dear me. Hello, and goodbye. Now we've got a bomb plant. RUBINO has 3 kills so far, all 1 deags. He has no idea where ECTag is. Coming up top, RUBINO's got no armor. Can he get around the corner in time? It looks like he can. And now ECTag's going to have a task ahead of him. Can he find the correct angle? It's a gamble. RUBINO here's the drop. Now he can play around the window. Ooh. Oh no, he was so close to the head! He was so close, Dan!
Oh, man. It's actually really funny because when he was at the T event, you can see the fire extinguisher, right? And I think I've been playing a little bit too much Deus Ex. I'm like, he could shoot the fire extinguisher and just distract his opponent with the noise cue.
Why are you spoiling Deus Ex for me? I can't believe you've done this. Might as well get a refund now.
Yep.
14-3. The auto shotgun onto maeVe. Always nice to see. Love me some shotguns. Galil's UMP is coming out for Dignitas. And a number of grenades. So let's see what they have to offer. Tricked with such a buy. And it looks like it's going to be a fast play into the bomb site. But they're ready with the Molotovs. Only 1 kill. It's not even from the shotgun.
Yeah, Dignitas actually in on this ramp room now. Although it is a tough entry. S-Tag looking to get damage in. No frags though, but config is down to 10. And Dignitas without a bomb plant, it's going to feel pretty awful, but looks like they're going to be good for it. Actually, the rotation's very conservative here from Tricked, despite losing ramp so quickly and being on 4 players. They don't really have anybody able to pressure onto this area just yet. We've got S-Tag there, who is going to be supported only briefly by HUNDEN. And the double peek comes in. Very nicely done there. Good adjustment. Oh, MSL, I love this. Over the door. Can't, that's not very good cover, though. Can get shot straight through that. Bit awkward here, but MSL looks to finish it off with the Glock. Pulled straight out. And there is a switch as well. But the defuse is coming in. MSL realizes he can't get it done. Falls back. Good damage done on the bomb plant. Probably means that Dignitas will force buy it up in this round.
Yeah, they're in an interesting situation. They have 10 rounds to play with.
Yeah. And
they will keep up some level of pressure, but they're going to go for the half buy.
I respect that, because at the same time, with force buys, you're kind of looking at the long term. And right now, they need 2 rounds, so it doesn't really matter too much. So you just want to have the 2 rounds where you get the most impact. So maximize those amounts of buy rounds that you can get out. And so this is going to allow them to do that. So I like this a lot. I like it.
So we've got Dignitas slowly moving towards T-Red. No smokes though, just one onto MSL. And he's going to get taken down. A distant think. RUBINO spotted as well, looking for some more headshots. HUNDEN's got to be careful. Oh! Oh!
There we go.
One too many times. You can't go to RUBINO's well, because he will throw you in it. What else can Dignitas do though? Well, JUGi's gone down. Now they have a man advantage. All Configs picks up an M4. Bear in mind, half of the remaining Dignitas players have armor as well, so there is work to be done here for the Dignitas side. And Tricked are running out of personnel to cover everything with. There's a T on the high ground around heaven.
Oh no, Rubino's got himself into this position completely unaware. It's the second time he gets this, and he knows there's a player below, and Config is going to take down his stagger. He was too worried about heaven as well as the yard. There's too many places to look, and now it's just maeVe. He's got a shotgun. He's got a shotgun. Can he find something better? Nope, not so far. This is grim indeed. Dignitas styling on Tricked, even in rounds when they don't really have almost any equipment. RUBINO, I called him out just a little bit for kind of fluffing his spray on a previous round. He's come back with 1 Deegs for days. And that is going to be probably enough to take Dignitas to 15, as maeVe is done on this round.
Poke your head, instant headshot. The NOPE, Dan. The NOPE coming in. I'm going to get out of here. maeVe desperately holding on, and he will be put out of his misery. 15-4 in favor of Dignitas. What does the CT money look like? Well, that's what it looks like, Dan. Doesn't look like much because there isn't much of it to look like anything at all.
Yeah, it looks pretty appalling.
2 of the 5 players in double figures there for Tricked. Clearly not enough to stop the existing situation. Dignitas at full power, full strength, full utility. Going to be charging for Tricked to have 1 rifle and 4 pistols. Niko on a defuse kit.
JUGi looking to get his RUBINO on with that deagle, perhaps. Not sure I fancy his chances, though. Got the pressure on the yard from Dignitas as they look for those lurking Tricked players. Out comes the deagle here for JUGi. Really desperately trying to connect one of these. There's one connection. Finally gets the finishing blows there. Took 3 bullets, though. But Config is down, and the pressure is very close at this point. Dignitas creeping closer and closer, circling all the remaining CTs until now there's just 2 left, and the bomb can go down freely on the upper side. So it looks like Dignitas have done it. It's just HUNDEN left now against 3. Do you believe, James?
No.
Right then. HUNDEN. James is not a believer.
He's going for the 1 versus 3 from main. He doesn't have a defuse kit. He's got an AK. And now he's dead. There we go. That was an awkward situation. Well, it's a shutout from Dignitas in the first map. I don't know if there's much to say about that. Clearly it wasn't Tricked's map. It was a pick of Dignitas. And it was solidly and strongly won by them.
Not much more to add. It wasn't really much of a showing indeed. However, we will move on to the choice of Tricked, which is going to be Cobblestone, but it is typically very well known to be a great map for Dignitas in the past. They've been a little bit shakier on it in the last month since the change and since JUGi left the lineup, but we can expect good things from them there. So let's find out after the break.